Have you ever wondered what it would be like if we could just build a neighborhood from scratch to be truly sustainable? I'm not talking about just adding a few solar panels here and there, but designing a whole system for the future. Well, today we're going to dive into London's East Village to see if it really holds the blueprint for the city of tomorrow.
But first, before we get to the solution, we've really got to understand the problem. I mean, what is it that projects like East Village are trying to solve? It's a massive challenge, and honestly, it affects pretty much every big city on the planet.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Are our cities, the way they're currently set up, actually built to last? I mean, they're incredible places, hubs for innovation, for culture, but they also have this huge and often pretty unsustainable appetite for resources.
Here's the simplest way to look at the core issue. A typical traditional city works on a straight line. It sucks in resources, food, water, energy, and then it spits out waste and pollution on the other end. A sustainable city, on the other hand, tries to create a circle, a closed loop, where resources get reused and waste is kept to an absolute minimum. It's a completely different way of thinking.
And just so we're all on the same page, this is the classic definition of sustainability. It's a pretty simple idea, but it is so powerful. It's not just about being green right now. It's about making sure that people can live well for generations and generations to come. And this is the core principle behind everything we're about to explore. So, how did this whole experiment in London even get started? Well, the catalyst was something that captures the entire world's attention every few years: the Olympic Games.
That's right. East Village wasn't just some random urban renewal project. It was purpose-built from the ground up to be the athletes' village for the 2012 Games. And what that meant was that sustainability was literally baked into its DNA from the very beginning. It was designed to be a showcase for green city living long after the athletes had all gone home.
Okay, so let's dig into the most visible part of this blueprint, all the environmental features that really make East Village tick.
What's so interesting is how this idea of sustainability starts right inside the home. The buildings themselves are just smart. They have really strong insulation, which means you need way less energy to heat or cool them. They've got clever water fixtures to cut down on waste, and even the materials used to build the place were chosen based on their environmental impact. But it's not just about the buildings. The whole neighborhood is flooded with green space. And these aren't just pretty parks to look at, they're like functional little ecosystems. They help clean the air, they give local wildlife a place to live, and they fight something called the urban heat island effect. That's when dense cities get way hotter than the areas around them. The trees here literally act like natural air conditioners for the whole neighborhood.
And that smart thinking goes all the way up to the rooftops. A lot of the buildings have what are called living roofs. Basically, they act like giant sponges. When you get a heavy downpour, they just soak up all that rainwater, which is a huge deal for preventing floods in a big city. Plus, they create these amazing little nature reserves way up high for birds and insects.
And the cleverness just keeps going. East Village has this incredible water recycling system. So wastewater from people's homes isn't just sent away. Nope. It's collected, and then it's filtered naturally using nearby ponds and reed beds. And that clean, recycled water, it gets pumped right back to be used for things like flushing toilets or watering all those parks. It's that closed-loop idea we talked about, but in action. Okay, so all the green tech is fantastic, but a sustainable place has to be about more than just the environment, right? It has to actually work for the people who live there. So the question is, how does East Village build a sustainable community?
Well, here's the crucial thing. The physical layout of the neighborhood itself kind of nudges people toward healthier, greener habits. You've got amazing public transport links, wide open walking paths, safe bike routes. The whole place is designed to make leaving your car at home the easiest and most enjoyable choice you can make. And this entire approach really rests on two main pillars. On the social side, the goal is to forge strong connections between neighbors. That's helped by the walkable design and all the public events, like local markets. Then, on the economic side, the focus is all on local prosperity. By making space for independent shops and cafes instead of just big chains, the money keeps circulating right there in the community, creating a really vibrant local economy. So this all sounds pretty idyllic, doesn't it? A green, walkable neighborhood where everyone knows each other. But like with any real-world project, there are always complications. Success, it turns out, can come with a pretty steep price tag. And here is the unavoidable tension. When you create a place that is this desirable, well, everyone wants to live there. And that demand, of course, drives up property values. That creates a huge risk of pricing out the very people the community was meant to serve. It's a classic problem with successful city regeneration projects. So So, to try and combat this, the developers put a specific policy in place. A full 30% of all the housing here is designated as affordable. And through different partnerships and subsidies, this housing is offered at rates below the market price. The idea is to make sure that teachers, nurses, and other key workers aren't pushed out of the community they help build.
So, what's the big takeaway here? East Village is this incredible, real-world laboratory for sustainable cities. It offers a powerful blueprint with lessons we can all learn from, like how important it is to have integrated systems where green roofs help manage water and parks cool the air. And maybe most importantly, that a truly sustainable city has to be built on a social and economic foundation, not just an environmental one.
And that leaves us with one final thought. The point isn't to just copy and paste East Village somewhere else. It's about learning from it. So think about your own town or city. What's the one piece of this blueprint? Maybe it's the living roofs, the walkable streets, or the support for local shops. What's the one thing you think could make the biggest difference right where you live?